Thanks for coming back to Joshua Carter Performance, and my name is Joshua Carter. Just that light. And I wanted to talk about a subject today that I feel like a lot of people I've seen cover this with their YouTube fitness videos. A lot of people cover this in blogs that I read, and I'm going to take it from the approach that how it's affected my personal life, and that is binge eating, emotional eating, and overeating. First topic is going to be binge eating. Now, the reason I'm hitting this so hard is because, like I've told you all before, I have gone on these weight loss journeys and have lost enormous amounts of weight, 110 pounds in 10 months to be exact. I have gained weight back, lost weight, gained it back again. And the reason for 99.9% of all that weight gain and weight loss or fluctuation was binge eating. Now, for those of you who don't know what binge eating is, it's basically like when you just like you binge watch a TV show. You just go and go and go. Most of the times, past the point of being full. Most of the times, you could have had a hamburger, fries, and a drink and stopped. But for whatever reason, we do a hamburger, fries, drink, dessert, maybe another cheeseburger. And for me, when I went on my first weight loss journey, I intentionally found myself binge eating. So what I would do is I would go to work on an empty stomach, have a light lunch. When I mean light lunch, I would still eat according to goal. And then I would drive home, and I had like a 40-minute drive home from work, and I would stop and get a Chick-fil-A Oreo shake. Then I would get to my apartment, and I would have a some type of fast food, and typically it would be Wendy's, McDonald's. I would get orders of wings from restaurants. Sometimes I would get IHOP's like breakfast food for dinner, and then sometimes I would cook a meal on top of that just to trick myself into thinking I'm still eating on go. So I would have I know specifically one time I can remember going to Chick-fil-A and getting 3 chicken sandwiches, like the meals, large, all with shakes, and eating all of it. So that's 3 large fries, 3 chicken sandwiches, and 3 shakes. And I sat there and ate that in one sitting. And later on in the evening, like around maybe 9 or 10 o'clock, got up and grilled a turkey burger. So that was kind of like when the bells went off that instant, because I remember it was a Saturday, and I did that, and I knew I was off work the Sunday. So that's one area of binge eating. Another thing that people do for binge eating is like they won't eat all day, and then they're so hungry when they sit down to eat. The first thing that they eat, they go and go and go and go and go, almost to the point of being sick. And for me, I can't do that. I would eat something and then go all in like on dinner. And the crazy part about it was I was doing it in secret. So like if I knew my daughter was gonna be around, I wouldn't do it. If I knew like my mom was gonna stop by, I wouldn't do it. I would take the trash and not throw it in a trash bag in the house, but walk all the way to the dumpster and throw all the trash away. So for me, it was something I was embarrassed about, and I know a lot of people do it because, transitioning into my next topic, we emotional eat. We emotional eat, and that turns into binge eating. If you have a bad day at work, if you have a fight with your significant other, if you have, if your kids did something, if you have a bad day in your business, whatever it is, we turn to food. And some people think that's okay because at least we didn't turn to alcohol, at least we didn't pick up a joint, at least we didn't go out and harm somebody or harm ourselves. But really, it has the same effect on us as an alcoholic, as a drug addict, as if we were to go out and do self-harm, because we're just doing it with food. You're taking years off your life with the overeating, with the emotional eating, with the binge eating. You're taking years off your life. You are hurting yourself, even though you think you're not. Like, it's a mind game. It's such a mind trick that food has this control over us, and we feel like if we have a bad day and we eat a pint of ice cream, it's all wiped away. Where as I've been able to make a transition on this weight loss journey, this current one, that it is conducive that I work out when I have a bad day. Like I have found total peace in the gym. I found total peace in sitting in a coffee shop drinking Starbucks coffee. Now, at the time of me doing this, it is 4:10 a.m. So once I get my day started, I've already prepared my coffee at home, and I've already have my water. So that way, I know two things are already done. So there's no need for me to get to Starbucks and order their coffee and then maybe throw on a donut. You know what I mean? It's all about tricking your mind. So before you emotional eat, like I already had a sip of the coffee at 4:10 a.m. So my mind's already kind of in a good space. Sadly, coffee does that to me. Judge me if you want. But it's already put me in a different space. So I am prepared for what's going to come today, not just because of the coffee, not because of the coffee, not because of the water, but because I'm taking emotion out of things and I have been able to do something that I know I wanted to do. I've been on this thing of getting up at 3:34 in the morning for about 2 months now, and nobody even knows it. So I've been able to do it consistently, except for on the weekends, and do it and feel good about it. So basically, I said all that to say this: when we are about to emotionally eat, do something that will trick your mind. Because sometimes, not I'm not even gonna say sometimes. I'll say majority of the time, when you're hungry and you're in your emotional state, you're not even hungry. You're just bored. You're not even desiring to eat. It's just your nature of which you probably your habits for however many years have been to when I'm bored I eat, or get a snack. Now, when you're naturally hungry, you know the difference between being hungry and being bored, or being in a bad mood, or being angry. You know with the difference between those. I would hope. So, emotional eating played a big part in my weight loss journey as well, because when my father was killed, it became like a whirlwind. People were sending food to the house from restaurants I've always wanted to try. People would come take me and my mom out to dinner, places I always wanted to try. It was like a free fall, and I was telling myself it's okay because you just lost a parent. Instead of saying you still have goals, you still have a life to live, you don't want to do all this hard work you've worked for over the last course of the last year, throw it down the drain because you can't channel your emotions to either stay working out or still eat, but just eat like you've been eating for the last year. And I know a lot of people, in my personal life, who do that. If they have an argument, if they have a bad day at work, if the money doesn't look right, they turn to food for that. And it's not a good choice because it takes an effect on your entire life. Some people who don't even embark on weight loss journeys, who don't even want to change their life, they have an addiction to food and they don't even realize it. It's not even how like a drug addict, they know they have an addiction. Someone who has this food problem, they don't even know it because they just think they're eating and that's just what they've done for however many years, and now everything is fine. When we go on this path, when we try to go and move in this space of eating healthy and eating the way we should and eating what we think is right, and then we fall off the wagon, it's hard to recover. It's like this. It's like, imagine if you don't have a food problem and you're watching this and you don't have a food problem. Imagine you have like any addiction. Like you are addicted to alcohol, and then you go out, you've been sober for a year, and you go out with your friends one night for a birthday, or St. Patrick's Day is coming up this weekend. You go out and have a few drinks. They go out and have a few drinks, and then you just fall prey to what's going on. Like you take a shot and not even thinking about it. Now you got that taste of alcohol, so now you continue to go and go and go, and it's going to be hard for you to stop again. Same thing with food. You may have been eating clean for 2 years, and then you have to go to a birthday party and you take a swipe of cake, and what happens next? It's all over. You may get into a fight with your significant other, and one of your friends might invite you out to clear your head, and y'all go get wings, and you sit there, you know you probably should have got a grilled chicken salad, and you could have got a light beer, but you go and get regular old sloppy down wings, and now you're back to square one again. That's how emotional eating, and binge eating come together. Now with overeating, there's something that I'm an expert in. You know, portion control is not a friend of mine. Portion control is not something I even know the definition of. And that's even when I'm eating healthy like I am now, eating clean. I can eat a whole pack of chicken tenderloins in one sitting. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm eating healthy, but really I'm still overeating because it's not. This might be healthy food, but it's not conducive to what I need to be eating. Same thing with like frozen yogurt versus ice cream. I could eat a whole pint of frozen yogurt, and in my mind, I'm tricking myself thinking, oh, it's frozen yogurt, you're gonna be okay. That's not the case at all. Like that, I'm not gonna be okay because that's still not that great for you. Overeating, again, just like binge eating, just like emotional eating, it's all up here. It's such a mind thing that once we get that something tastes good, we just don't want it to stop. Now, with all three of those things that have affected my weight loss journey, your weight loss journey, and it sometimes it prevents people from even starting because they don't know how to sacrifice and then at the same time create balance to be able to do this. And this is all about balance. You know, people call them reward meals, cheat meals, things like that. I'm a firm believer, and you should not even think about a reward meal or a cheat meal until you've hit some type of goal. Until your brain is now at a place where if you take a Saturday and say, okay, Saturday is going to be my reward meal day, meal, not entire day, meal, and I know I'm going to have a burger and fries and a milkshake, that's what you need to stick it to. Now for the whole day, and I'll tell you how to plan out your cheat meal, you should work out and then have the cheat meal. Most of the time you want to up the cardio that day and then have the cheat meal. I wouldn't recommend doing a cheat meal on a rest day. You know, like I wouldn't tell you to do a cheat meal. If your rest day is Saturday, don't do a cheat meal on Saturday, do it Friday. Or Sunday even. So you can mix those things in, but I wouldn't even consider reward days until you've hit a goal. So I always tell people it's 21 days to get into this lifestyle and really stick with it. It takes 21 days to form a habit, 21 days to break a habit. So, and I apologize if I'm looking all over the place because I'm recording this on my phone versus my camera, so I can't follow the lens. I just can't see it over here. So sorry if I'm like my eyes are all over the place. But what I'm saying is it takes a while to get into these habits. 21 days to be exact is what studies all show. So for me, when I broke the habit, I knew, okay, for 21 days is work out, eat clean. Now, this time around, my mom helps me prepare meals when she can because my mom knows how to make the things healthy and knows how to make them taste good. Unfortunately, I can cook the meals. I don't know how to make them taste good without making them bland and dry. So I get frustrated. That's another thing you have to do. Find foods. You know, if you're going to be a vegan, be a vegan. If you're going to be vegetarian, be a vegetarian, pescatarian, regular, omnivore, whatever you're going to be. Keep it clean because you can be a vegan and be out of shape. Don't fall for that trap that a vegan is a diet. A vegan is a lifestyle. A pescatarian is a lifestyle. So don't think because you watched What the Health and now you're never going to eat meat again and you think that's going to cause your weight loss because now you can indulge in carbs. You know, you have to really, this is what I'm saying, it's really a lifestyle change that you have to embrace. It's a lifestyle. It's not just a diet plan. None of this is a diet plan. You know what I mean? People call it diet, meal plan. It's a lifestyle. And it's a lifestyle that you have to focus on. Use me as your resource because I didn't adjust it to a lifestyle before. I just looked at it as a diet. Like, I got to do this for a year. My body's going to be banging. Then I'll stop. And that's exactly what happened. I didn't make a full lifestyle switch. I didn't understand that it's here too. Like, you have to clean up this before you can clean up all this. Fact of the matter. So when we talk about food, you have to work on that relationship with your food. You have to say, okay, if I'm going to do intermittent fasting, I got to pick a window where I know I will stick to this. I know my life won't throw this off balance. And I got to try that for 21 days. If you're going to be, whatever you're going to be real, first of all. Like, if you never ate an abundance of veggies, don't call yourself a vegetarian and then think you're going to do that because you've never eaten vegetables before. Don't play that game. And, you know, it's a lot of things that go into it. You got to separate the mental aspect from it. You have to. 21 days. You know, like I said, don't give yourself a reward meal until you knocked out something. Like on day 22, if you have earned it, you know, you stuck to your clean meal plan, you know, you put a goal down of however many pounds you wanted to lose, a pair of pants you wanted to fit into, you know, something you wanted to do and not get exhausted. And after 21 days, if you stuck on that course, then you may can go get a frozen yogurt. You may can have a milkshake. But you have to know yourself. Know, like, okay, if I do this, am I going to lose control again next week? Am I going to crush everything away that I've done for 21 days? Am I going to give up because my scale didn't change? One thing you have to ultimately remember, and this is key, and anytime you do this type of thing, it's key. You didn't put the weight on overnight. It's not going to come off overnight. I've been in the gym every day, maybe skipping like 3 or 4 days max if I'm traveling or something. But I go 6 days a week. And the scale, I don't get on the scale, but I know how my clothes fit. It hasn't really changed that much. You know what I'm saying? I lose weight in my face, ultimately first, but it hasn't changed much. But I know this is not going to be something that's overnight. I know that by coming on here telling you guys how to do this, people question that because I'm not ripped, I don't have abs, but I'm so consistent that hopefully you will see something that, and hopefully you will try to change your life around. That's the whole purpose of all these videos. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning to come on here and do this before I get my day started just to hear myself talk. I counsel myself, and I'm also trying to help you all as well. But don't think this is going to be something that you change overnight. First and foremost, like I tell everybody, before you do anything like this, okay, get you a journal. Get a journal. This thing cost me $7. $7 at Staples. You know, it's the school supply, office supply store. Get you a journal. Fill out the pages. I do it every day. You probably can't see it because of the light, but fill out the pages and write in there what your plan is. You know, write your meals down, or write your mood down, write your goals down. And this thing with food will start to make a transition for you. You know, when you get hungry, like, you know you're hungry, like you probably haven't had a meal in like 8 hours, which you should never do. Don't turn to the first thing that you see. If you run to your vending machine and you got 75 cents and that's all you have, you don't want to swipe your debit card. In the vending machine, they probably have a oats and honey bar, which, you know, whatever. They probably have some trail mix, or they probably have like some sun chips, some something like that. Don't go for the Snickers. Don't go for the Doritos. Don't go for the you know, the high sugar snacks. Just go for, or get you some water and just drink that water until you know, okay, I'm gonna have a meal when I get home. But you have to work on that relationship with food, and you have to learn to sacrifice first. So that's all I want to talk about today, is that relationship with food, how it applies to your weight loss journey. Again, I don't know where my eyes are going to be at when you guys watch this. I think I'm looking at the lens, but I feel like I'm looking at myself, so it's probably going to look weird. But just pick up the message. Pick up the message. Don't follow my eyes. Just pick up the message. And I hope that this video makes sense. I hope that you all get your relationship with food together. I'm on this journey with you. As always, you can always email me, comment, subscribe, like the video, and have a great day.